Put the audio on the screen. Oh, a world of infinitely dumb ideas. Which probably has to take the cake. My quality is not there. It was just a why I'm not in a rush to jump on the bike and get warm is because I've already been on the bike today. So I spent the better part of this morning riding with AJ and Steven and many others on the Uber Prezel. And so for me, this is just the cherry on top in terms of finishing out my week before I go visit family and take some much needed time off the bike because I've already completed my festive 500. Hopefully, I turn on my exhaustion. I can see. All right. All right. Here we go. 18 minutes. Fine and easy-ish. Nope. Too much elevation. Oh, perfect. 6 grand. Not a lot of elevation. I'm still on my. Nope. I'm going to get a lot of feedback. I'm learning. See? I'm learning. All right. Hopefully, there isn't too much noise from the fan. Not a lot of popping and all that stuff from the noise cancellation. Oh, my legs. Yeah. So, did the Uber Pretzel earlier today. And because I committed to this race, I'm going to race it. And so now I did do the Uber Pretzel without any carbs, though I did have plenty right after by way of a couple of chocolate truffles, like the Lindor truffles, and some crackers because I was severely dehydrated. So I ran out of electrolytes yesterday. I didn't run out, but I intentionally saved what I had for this race, which is barely enough. My order of electrolytes is on its way in, and so I was like, all right, no big deal. I will have my electrolytes by the time the race starts. But I ended up like really, really depleting my electrolytes on the last, so doing the Uber Pretzel. And so now I'm working on, I did get my electrolytes. Thankfully, my mail delivery carrier got here way earlier than I thought. This is a weird rocking motion. Let's see. I think my bottom bracket might be loose, or my tensioner screw might be loose. That's a little weird wobble. We'll see. But yeah, that's really weird. So you would think after doing the Uber Pretzel today, I would call it a day and get relaxed and take a bath and all that. But today's a day where I can race and keep the party going, so to speak. Now, after I did the Uber Pretzel, again, I did it without carbs. Had some 2 little packs of soda crackers and some chocolate truffles, as well as about a 5-ish ounce steak and about another half pound of ham. I was hungry. And thankfully, I started feeling better quick. Because I felt the lack of electrolytes. And I'm more of a sodium person. Like I sweat sodium more than potassium. So just real quick, so you can see what I'm doing. If you ever run into an issue where you can't shift, so I use this tram style setup. You can see I'm shifting up gears. I'm at 110, 19. Usually you press both shifters and it goes into 2. But right now it's not doing it. Whenever that happens, I found this trick out the other day. Whenever that happens, you go into hardware, you switch it from tram style to sequential, back out, and now you got all your gears. Right? You catch up. Oh, today's going to hurt. We're doing the Scotland smash. 1 lap of Scotland smash, so it's not a big deal, but definitely going to hurt. All right, so once I catch up, I'll show you how to get back. Basically, you undo it, and it'll show back up. I don't know why it happens, but I've had it happen to me multiple times. Now, if I had the play controllers, I could just shut them off and turn it on. And I never had this issue with the play controllers. Okay, now Bernie's got to catch up. And so I like the shrimp style setup, very partial to it, not because I have shrimp, but because I feel like the split. So you see now I press both buttons and I can shift into the two gears. But I feel like that split allows me to essentially choose between climbing and flat profile without having to go into settings and adjust things. And so typically, even when I'm on the flat setting, if I switch to one gears, like right now, I'm climbing at 1-1, as you can see, requiring less wattage. And so I can kind of really plan on how I ride. Here's essentially one of my future teammates on the Dirty Aces. And so for those that saw the last race that I did, will know that I got promoted to a new team, going from Dirty Deuces to Dirty Jokers, and moving on up in the ladder league. It's fun but nerve-wracking because, man, the teams, like, the level of competition on the Deuces, like we had some teams that, yeah, we did good against and we knew we could hold our own. But then we had some teams that we got just destroyed by. Turn it up. I'm going to turn on this one. I'm learning that. Thanks, man. I'm learning that I have to, like, if I can cool my back as well as my front, I get better cooling efficiency. Like, I can see to my heat strain index. And I think it's just because I found this out recently that humidity acts as a blanket. And so when you're in a high humid area like me in Florida, and you build up heat in an environment like a garage, the humidity will keep the heat trapped over top of you until you heat up faster. Which is why whenever I do heat training exercises, I don't need to actually do anything other than not have my fans on. And sometimes I have my fans on, but I have them pointing towards my thighs, so that way my quads don't overexert themselves, and I still get some coolness. But I don't like going into the high end heat strain index. I like staying in the moderate, like level 3, level 4 range, versus going all the way up to 6. That seems brutal to me. So yeah, so when humidity builds up on you, basically acts as an insulation blanket. And so the best way to combat that is to just get some air moving around you. And so usually I would just cool myself from the front, but the air doesn't really circulate around you with the fans that I have. So I have a fan that I'm finally pulled out of the rubble that was my garage, and then put it to use. So since I started using it, it's actually felt much better. I don't get as hot as quickly. Oh, I see MK in here. Is he going to be racing this tonight? You know, a lot of people might be doing the Z racing. If you are, good luck. Join the pen in a little bit. Change my wheels, change my bike. So in the last 2 days, or 3 days technically, of riding, completing the Festive 500, I upgraded my BMX, I upgraded my Athos to level 5, and I'm well on my way to upgrading my Zip Carbon as well. And so, level them up for the sake of leveling them up, because honestly, I don't think they're any better than the SL8. But if it comes down to it, and like the Halo bikes get much dramatically better, or the Tron bike is dramatically better in the future, then it'll be worth having bikes upgraded to level 5 that I can just purchase those and upgrade them as well. Nice. Yeah, I was shocked at so I thought I had over 100 meters left, or sorry, close to 1,000 meters left on my Athos. It turned out that I only had like a couple hundred meters left. So after the Epic, and I don't even hit the Epic yet before mine upgraded. And so I was happy with that. It helped with the Epic and the what's it called? The radio tower. But if you look at Zwifter bikes, so there's a page in Zwifter bikes that does analysis. Like you can compare. It's called a what if scenario. You can compare different bikes on wheels. The SL8 is still better. Most often it's because it's more aero. Nice. So I did the PRL full with the BMX, and I did 160-ish kilometers of the PRL full on the BMX, which is what I had left. And then I switched to the SL8 on the last lap because I wanted to try and go for a PR on that climb on Box Hill, but missed my PR by 13 seconds, which I can be okay with. Because at the end of the day, after over 100 miles of riding, trying to bust out a PR effort on Box Hill was not exactly advisable. I don't think I'm going to milk Bernie for any more drops. So I need to switch bikes. If you have the Zwift bike, this is the fastest way to switch bikes. Go into the planning screen, you have to let your rider come to a complete stop. Because if not, then it ends up booting out the progress. We're going to go with the 65s today. Because we're going to go up against a lot of monsters. So I've not looked at who's in the pen. I only know from Discord chat people that were potentially going to be in there. Oh, I need to drink more. And so this is going to be, initially it was going to be team on team, which would have been great. But now it's a mass start with everybody. Anybody and everybody. Oh, I see ATP in there. I see a few people that probably want revenge. Because Deuces, we went clobbering time on a few teams. And so definitely going to be some revenge today. I am glad that we're only doing one lap of this. I don't think I have 2 laps in me. I think 1 lap's going to be more than enough. We'll see after the first 5. Oh man, a lot of names. But I'll tell you what, out of all these names, you probably won't find anyone else that did the Uber Prezel today. And I mean, like, I finished the Uber Prezel 4 hours ago at 3:30. So I'm not, like, at all in the right state of mind to be doing this right now. But like I said, it is a journey. And today was just one of those days where I'm going to get plenty of rest in the next coming days. I'm not going to be on the bike at all. I'm actually leaving my bike home. I'm heading up to my mom's. And just going to do some video editing, get some stuff out, and let my legs rest. They desperately need it. After more than 500 kilometers, I think, in total, probably somewhere around 550 to 600. My first time ever doing a festive 500. Not sure why I did it, other than it came up on the calendar, and I was like, well, I had the PRL full that I was going to do with JD. And so I was like, because I'm doing that, I might as well just continue to stack the kilometers and do the festive 500. Not like it was that far of a stretch. And so decided to do that and race in between. And now I'm just ready. Dude, what is that wobble? I'm not liking that. Last time I had a wobble like that, I was my bike quick release was not on, but like I feel the wobble underneath my cleat, my left cleat, and so I'm thinking it's the tensioner screw or the preload screw for the bottom bracket. Which is not if that's the case, man. I'm not too worried about that because it's still gonna work. I'll just have to double check it after I get off the bike. Well, to say that my saddle is sore is an understatement. You know, I have a really good saddle, like a really good saddle, but six, almost 6 hours today, 6.5 hours 2 days ago, or almost 3.5 hours or so, the day prior to that, and then 3 hours prior to that. Yeah, my saddle is sore. All right, here we go. And fire socks already. Man, someone's way out there with lightning songs. Oh man. Oh my gosh.
Turns to day, palms sway left, palms sway right. Miami's alive in the heat of the night. Feel the pulse, it's electric fire. This groove won't stop, it'll take you higher. Shake the city down, down.
easy. Oh,
Break it down, spin it all around.
no. What did I just do? Oh, I did something stupid. I didn't even know that was an option.
Feel the breeze from the ocean.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Neon signs buzzing home so sweet. Fast cars streaking down Biscayne Street. The ocean whispers secrets in my ear. A thousand stories, all crystal clear. Miami dreaming, teal and pink skies. Waves are dancing in the moon's eyes. Feel the rhythm, it's a vibe so right. Miami dreaming in the nightlight. bass, turn it up, shake the place. Lights flash, hearts race. This is the moment, no time to waste. Move your body side to side. Let the rhythm be your guide. Shake the floor, shake the floor. We want more, we want more. 808s, feel the roar. Shake the floor. Shake the floor. Stepping close, lose control. Let the music take your soul. Whoa, it's so heavy, it's alright. Feel the magic make you whole. Hands up high, touch the sky. Fly now, don't ask why. Shake the floor, shake the floor. 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 Feel the beat, feel the drop. Make a move, make 'em stop. Hands up high, reach 'em up. Dance, dance, never stop. Dance all night, don't slow down. Feel that bass shake the ground. Move your body round and round. Dance all night, party sound, party sound. Lights flash, the room's alive. Energy, we thrive, survive. Feet on moving, hips collide. Feel the rhythm, let it guide. Body so heavy, heartbeats pound. Lose yourself in the sound. Dance all night, don't slow down. Feel that bass shake the ground, shake the ground. Move your body round and round. Dance all night, party sound.
Thanks, man. Ironically, my lungs hurt more from today's escapades than my legs right now.
Break it down, break it down, break it down. Feel the pulse all around. 808, 808s take a crown. This is how we own the town. Break it down, break it down, break it down. Feel the pulse all around. 808, 808s take a crown. This is how we own.
I hope so.
I said,
Okay. So, top 20. Considering I did the Uber Prezel 3.5 hours ago, or 4.5 hours ago, I'll take it, man. Oh my God. Oh, my chest hurts so much. Oh, thanks, man. Ah, I hate getting dropped on that last time. Happens to me all the time. One of the things I'm weakest on when it comes to this stage is the that little finish ending. I usually either get pulled back if I try and go off the front, or I just can't hold on if I get dropped. But today, at least I have a good excuse. I did 80 miles earlier. I'm gonna go on hiatus for a couple days. I'm testing the bike. I'm looking at the bike. Well, then, let's see. I did it. But man, what a hell of a week with the Festival 500. I don't know that I will ever make that again. That was a good do it. Like, if I do it next year, if I do it next year, then maybe I'll consider it. Like, doing it either on one shot or being smart about it and doing 70 kilometers a day. And just doing it good. And like this year, I did 70 kilometers, and then I did 100, and then I did 174, and then the racing continued, and then I did more racing, and then I did the first like this. I'm gonna go eat some cookies. The last handful of days about being okay with eating junk food and hit back into my standard way as I kick off the new year. I just can't go too crazy because I got races already for next week. So. Yeah, man. Well, so I don't get what good job. All right, guys. Have a happy new year. Be safe. Hopefully you're spending with family. You're not spending with family. Hopefully you're enjoying your time. You live yourself over time. However you decide to plan. This New Year's, even if you're just sleeping, I will definitely sleep. Don't do the like. But have a happy new year. Safe time. See you back here in the new year, 2026. If you couldn't tell already, 2026 is going to be different. I push myself harder and push longer and be more competitive. That is the goal. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for always tuning in, hanging out, saying hello, commenting, doing all the different things. Now, I will catch you guys in the new year for some more. Cheers, guys. And thank you, as always. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you, Henry.